to find out what actually got you on your journey to basically sustainable planning for yourself and for Jeremy.
Interesting question. I was trying to remember actually when I first, because I've read about, I think, from a scientific point of view about sustainability for a long time, but I remember one moment where it sort of came home a little bit. And I was in Vietnam about 15 years ago. So it was relatively less developed then as well, in Da Nang, and everyone's been to Da Nang, there's a nice beach there, China Beach there. And I was doing some work with Unilever, and those of you who have been out in the region will know they're very successful in these very small sachets of shampoo and other things, because it serves the need in that particular market. And we were wandering down the beach there, and of course it's being washed up from the sea, right? Old packaging, right, in the river and things. They're saying, the funny thing is, the more successful you are, this is how you tell your market share, in fact. You tell what's being washed up. And it just struck you, that's appalling, right? I mean, it's a very successful business, very profitable, but it's appalling, right? That can't be the right way to be successful. So I remember that as a sort of pivotal moment for me. We just think, this just isn't right. You just say, sustainability is a fancy label, but you just look at it and say, it just isn't right. You shouldn't do it that way. So that moment stuck with me, as well as a few others, that did. And when I got the chance to really get into the business here a few years ago, and then trying to put those things into practice.
I think for Singapore, there is no choice. You have to be sustainable in the way in which we are going to plan and grow the city, because you cannot pack up and go somewhere else when it doesn't work out. So this city-state has to carry on and on and on forever. So I think you really don't have a choice. But having said that, I think a lot of the stuff that we do, which I smile because I have been planning the city for many years. And we have been doing, I think, the right things, maybe without knowing we were doing the right things, and calling it a sustainable label. So I'm always amused that suddenly in the last 10 years, this word comes out and everybody is terribly enamored by it. But the good thing is really for Singapore, when we first became independent and we started looking at development in Singapore, we have been making almost all the right choices for ourselves, and that is a great help. And then today, of course, the word sustainability is really in vogue. So, but I think for Singapore, really, you don't have a choice.